All right, welcome everyone for the next class. We're going to continue on the Gruenfeld defense today, so the Gruenfeld day. So now I'll show you another game I played in this opening, a different system, okay? So it's good to know a couple of different setups against the Gruenfeld defense, okay? So this game is from 2010 again, and against Grandmaster Becerra, strong Grandmaster. And he normally actually doesn't play the Grünfeld. He normally plays the semi-Slav, and we've had a lot of games semi-Slav or Slav, but he played G6, which came as a little surprise because I don't remember Julio playing the Grünfeld defense. So I played Knight C3 as expected, and again, we don't know the opening yet. So you have to wait for the third move, then we're gonna know the name of the opening. And now again we see the Grünfeld. It seems like a lot of people play Grünfeld against me. It's probably the most played opening against me of any of the openings, because I think it seems like people see that I have a lot of games and okay, some good results, some maybe some not so good results. So it's I will do the statistics one day to know exactly, but it seems like I get a lot of Grünfelds these days, almost in every tournament. And now Bishop G5. Okay, this is a more rare move, and became popular probably around 2005. This is when you see a lot of the top players start to play this opening. So the main line is, we looked at it, the main line was to take on d5, c takes d5 setup, c takes d5, but here we see a lot of major theory, knight takes d5, e4, which we saw in a previous game. But here we have bishop g5. In fact, in my recent tournament played last week actually here, the Fall Classic tournament, I played this move against Ray Robson, one of the top players in the US, and he played the move bishop g7 here. But in this game, my opponent played knight e4, activating the knight and now putting pressure on my bishop. So you have to make a decision here, what to do with this bishop. And I played the most popular move, bishop h4. If you take the knight on e4, then black takes back with the d pawn, and this pawn is actually quite annoying because it's preventing your knight from developing to the normal square. So you have to play some moves like e3 and queen d2, but it's not so clear basically. So that's why I played the move bishop h4. He takes, I take back, and he plays bishop g7. Another move is very interesting, is taking on c4, d takes c4. Very interesting move. But he played bishop g7. e3, c5, attacking the center. And now when you have double pawns, it's very important in chess to do what? Undouble the double pawns when you have a chance. Okay, so here we have an opportunity to do that. So I'll take with my double pawn, so take on d5, queen takes d5. The advantage why I'm playing this position for white is white has a stronger center in this position, and that's usually very, very important. Okay, so here I have a little bit better center. Black has active queen, active bishop on g7, but in the long run, if I can complete my development, if I can get my knight on f3, the bishop on e2, I can castle, then I have a very nice position here. So it's the matter of time here. If I can get those moves in, I'll be better. Knight c6. So I played knight f3, knight f6, bishop e2, just developing my pieces. And he castled. I castled, bishop f5. I also had the same exact position, with the only difference is black already had captured on d4. So pawn takes d4, pawn takes d4. And I've had this position against international master Prus. He played bishop f5 in this position. But now, with the pawns not captured, I have a very interesting move here that I can play with the pawns on the board still. Like this move that I'm going to play now, it wouldn't be good when the pawns are exchanged, but with the pawns on the board, it's good. So take your time a little bit, Ashish, don't rush, okay? Think a little bit so you can understand what I'm trying to do here. And see if you can find the correct idea here. I think bishop f5 perhaps is slightly inaccurate here. So it's better to have it captured. But let's see now, bishop f5. What did I play in this position against Grandmaster Becerra? Okay, Ashish, go. Queen b3, correct. Queen b3. Idea behind this move is to exchange my queen with his queen. If you look at the position right now, whose queen is more active? Yes. Black queen is more active, right? It's in the middle of the board. It's very centralized, putting a lot of pressure. Our queen is still on the original square. And the reason queen b3 is very good, when he takes my queen, I will bring my isolated pawn here closer to my pawn chain. Okay? So that's why this queen b3 move is a very good move here. Good job, Ashish. Very good move, positionally. Now he takes, take back with a pawn. Now, let's talk about the pawn islands for a second here. How many pawn islands now black has? Black has 2 pawn islands, right? 1, 2. So that's 1 island, and that's his second island. So it's basically when the pawns are split, that's 1 island. So right now I have very good, actually 1 compact big pawn island, okay? All my pawns are connected. So it's important to pay attention to the pawn islands, pawn structures, because if you have too many pawn islands, that means you have a lot of weaknesses, okay? So you want to make sure you don't have too many islands, okay? He takes on d4. And now I took back with this. Why do you think I captured back with the e pawn here? You have a choice here. You can take back with the c pawn, or you can take with the knight. Why did I take with the e pawn here? That's the question here, to understand. Adi?
Because if you take all the c pawns, the b3 pawn is isolated again.
Excellent thinking. You guys hear that? So if I take with the c pawn now, right, which I did. Now look at this position here. This pawn is what? Weak, isolated pawn. When a pawn is by itself, that's isolated. That pawn is usually weak. That pawn has no strength. That pawn is going to be a problem that you have to keep defending. Okay? But if I take this way, like I did in the game, look at, I have this nice, nice unit here that I can try to advance. Okay? And who is controlling the center now? White, right? I have more pawns in the center. Very nice center I have. And now look at my rook. I don't even need to move that rook for a while because that rook is already on an open file. That rook is actually developed basically now without moving it because it's on an open file. Rooks, they like open files, okay? Now he plays rook fc8. He realizes he has to do something here, so he goes for this. Now, what do you think? I should start advancing my pawns. I should try to complete my development. What should I try to do here? Yes?
Bishop c4.
I'm not sure about bishop c4 because what is bishop c4 going to do?
Bishop d5.
I know, but you're making 2 moves and then take the knight. The value of the knight is less than a bishop. You don't want to spend 2 tempes to try to take the knight.
Bishop d5.
Well, bishop b5 first. I'm not sure what are we accomplishing if he just attacks you. Because at the end of the line, I don't know if you see it, at the end of the line, look at that pawn dropping. Yeah, you can play c4 first, but okay, some bishop move. Richard.
Rook a c1.
Well, not here, I assume, right?
Yeah, in the start.
Okay, well, you can play rook a c1, but I just mentioned something. You probably didn't hear that. The rook on a1 is actually developed already because it's on an open file.
I wasn't sure.
So if you're going to play rook fc1, probably better off moving this piece here. Because that way you're developing a rook on f1 that is not doing anything. It's undeveloped. Okay? So I would recommend doing that if you're going to do that. But here, I'm trying to gain some space advantage on a queen side here. I have some pawns here, so I want to get some space advantage here. What move do you think I can play here to get some more space and create a threat? The threat that Ashish is trying to do. The threat that you're trying to do. You keep trying to remove this knight, right?
So the idea of b4, b5.
There you go. Bravo. Yes. b4. Now the threat is to play b5, attack the knight. If the knight moves, pick up the pawn. Okay? So the threat is to play b5. So he plays a6, of course. He's not going to let you just do that. Now, what should I do next? But a6 weakened the position a little bit, correct? Look at that. Look at dark square weaknesses now. So we have to do something about that. Ashish. Rook a3. Lifting the rook up away from this diagonal, potentially threatening to double up the rooks with the idea of b5. Look at that. Rooks are going to be lined up on an a file. And we have that potential to play b5 as well. Okay? Rook a3 is very strong with rook fa1 and b5. He plays e5. Trying to do something. I mean, I have the control of the center, space advantage on a queen side. Very difficult to move for him. So he goes for a break. He's trying to break the position. Now, what to do? Absolutely d5. Attacking that knight. Knight b8. Well, what to do? The knight on d8 doesn't look very good. Not too many prospects. So he tries to go here to get to d7. Now, what should I do? Knight d2 first. I see the threat is coming. I see the threat is coming here, okay?
Oh. He wants to trade. Okay.
I see the threat is coming, so that's why I don't necessarily want to do that right now. So I want to bring the knight here. In fact, my destination for this knight is c4, b6, or d6. This is where the knight is going. This is called maneuvering, okay? Maneuvering the knight, or to a better square. Okay? So these are difficult moves to find in a game, because in a game, most of the time you're looking at direct ideas. Directly, what can I do right away? But if you don't have anything directly, you have to try to maneuver. Ability to maneuver your pieces to better squares is very important in chess. So you see, if you watch a lot of Grandmaster games, right, you'll see a lot of maneuvering going on here. But besides that, I also have a nice trap for him. If he plays knight d7, I have some ideas like this. And where is the bishop going? Look at that bishop now. Look at that. Look at that trapped piece right there. He could maybe, but it's just an idea, So he plays bishop h6, your idea, Ashish, right away. Attacking the knight here.
So run away to
Now, where is the knight going? We know where is the knight going here.
C4 to B6.
Of course, when you choose a plan, I always tell you this. What do you do?
Stick with it.
Stay with the plan, unless something extraordinary happens. You stay with that plan, okay? And now look at those tempes. So he goes knight d7.
Knight D6.
Of course, knight d6. He guarded one, but he cannot guard both.
Yeah.
Of course, knight b6 would have been deadly, yeah?
Yeah.
Attacking the rooks. So he has to play knight d7. Now you attack. And now, time to do what?
Take that light squared bishop.
Is the light square bishop going away, Ken? Is it going
No.
anywhere?
But I'm opening up the king, right?
You are, but we're in an endgame stage, you know, so...
Yeah, B5.
Adi, don't create holes in a position. Don't create holes. B5 is creating squares. You want to give up the C5 square for the knight? Now, our pawn chain is nice, but it's like one guy is advanced, one guy is back, one guy is here. That's not very nice looking pawn chain, right?
So C4 now.
So, of course.
They're rolling. They are rolling.
Pawn chains are strong when they go together, you know? If one guy is advanced, one guy is behind, one guy is in the middle, it's not very strong. When they are going forward together as a unit, they are very strong. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Bishop f8. He wants to get rid of that knight, see? And now it's time to play which move?
Now we take the bishop.
Now we take the bishop. Now we take that bishop. Okay, let's evaluate this endgame now. As you can see now, white made a lot of progress here. And what is the evaluation to you here? There's no question about white being better. How much better here? Slightly better, big advantage,
I'd say
winning advantage.
I'd say winning just because of the space he controls in the rolling pawns. The good bishop that can come after.
So you think it's already that bad for black, that it's winning? We can say it's winning?
Yeah, because where's his dark squared bishop going?
Well, the very next move is very important. I agree. It's probably big advantage / winning, okay? Big advantage / winning, but the next move is very important, okay? Well, the next move, I think it's... What should we do here? Well, I don't want to lose my pawn here, so this is hanging, right? The bishop is trying to take the b4 pawn.
C5.
Of course, c5, excellent. They're going forward, right? The pawns are moving forward now. And now I'm getting ready to play d6 as well here. This is looking very difficult now for him. So he plays e4. d6. Look at that pawn chain. They're all protecting each other. Now I have a question for you. If he plays rook c6, can you find a winning move immediately? The move that ends the game here. Nice move too.
Oh, bishop B5.
Yes.
Adi, adi, adi. So, the winning move is? Go.
Bishop B5.
Yes.
Look at that move. Sacrificing the bishop, attacking the rook. Rook goes backwards. Thank you for the knight. If he takes back,
Thank you for the rook.
thank you for the rook. You still have to use your tactics, okay? You still have to use your tactics in endgames. Remember that, okay? You use your tactics in endgames. So he went queen c8, rook c8, and now rook d1. Which piece is undeveloped?
Rook on F1.
Rook on f1. And do we want to have undeveloped piece? No, right? We want to bring the rook here. At some point, we have the idea to play even rook d5 and collect the weak pawns. These pawns are very weak here. You know, I have two bishops, great pawn structure, and he's got a lot of weak pawns as well.
And how does he defend that pawn?
So bishop g7. Bishop g5. I just brought the bishop back. Bishop e5. And now This bishop is very strong here. I would like to remove this bishop from here. Or force him to get rid of his strong e4 pawn here. Which move can do that? Which move can do that? Think. Ken?
F4.
Absolutely F4, yes. Let's see this. F4, attacking the bishop, and he moved the bishop back because if he takes en passant, then bishop takes, and I'm also attacking b7, and he's got a very weak structure. So he goes bishop g7, bishop c4, activating the bishop and putting some pressure there as well, okay? Knight f6. Bishop takes f6, correct. He takes back. Now f5 pawn is weak, right? Rook d5. See, I'm ready to take this pawn. Then I will be attacking f7 as well. And then I have this nice vertical idea, you know? Nice vertical check on g3 as well here. So everything is just falling apart now. f5 is hanging, f7 hanging, and rook is coming in as well. So he played a5. He wants to do something. I mean, he's just losing here, so he wants to go for a break, you know? But now this loses a pawn. Think. There is a tactical trap here. If you take here, what kind of trap that he has in mind here? Do you see the trap, the tactic he wants to do here?
Oh, he wants to check you with the bishop.
Not yet. Takes. Look at that.
And now check.
And now check. And now this is turning the tables around, yeah? And look at that. He takes back. From very bad position, now he is okay. I don't think I'm winning anymore. No, not winning, but it's probably close to equal. So that means you always have to watch out. You can never relax thinking, oh, I'm just winning, you know? So you always have to watch out for these tricks. So I need to deflect this piece from here. Of course. Deflecting him away. So he goes rook c7. And now rook takes. Rook takes. Now forcing him to trade rooks. But if he takes the rook here, you always have to remember your in between, intermezzo, right? Check. He takes. Check. Thank you for the piece. And now white is up a piece, winning. So he played rook d8. And now I must keep my d7 pawn. Bishop b5. Bishop c3. a4. Just defending. e3, threatening e2. This next move is very important to stop that pawn. King f8. King e2. Now I have a very strong pawn. He's got a pawn too, but I have an extra pawn, and I can get more pawns now, right? So I have 6 pawns. He has 4. Well, what to do? Yeah, nothing he can do. And now I'm threatening to play rook e5, rook e8. And that will just end the game here. So he decides to sacrifice exchange. And now creating another pass pawn. b5 with the threat of c6, creating more pass pawns. So he goes bishop c1. His only threat is to get a rook on the second rank to complicate the position. That could be easily stopped by rook a2. Perfect. And he resigned here because next I'm going to play c6, put the pawn behind it, and just continue pushing the pawn. I'm also up an exchange here. So that's why he decided that there are no chances for him to continue playing here. He's going to lose anyway. So he resigned. So yeah, it was, I think, a pretty nice positional win in the endgame, okay? Where it was just some good maneuvering happened there. We're going to continue now. And I'm going to set up a position. If you know this position, don't say it, because I think some people might not know it. Some might. For now, all you need to know is white to play and win. For now. Well, who knows it except Ashish? Nobody knows. Oh, you know it too. Okay, okay, okay. Let's.
Ken told the story before.
Ken, what?
You told the story before, and I don't know. I think it was
Okay, this position played in a world championship.
Oh, it's the Carlsen.
Carlsen versus Karjakin.
Yes.
Carlsen, Karjakin, 2 years ago.
What do you mean that?
Carlsen, Karjakin, 2 years ago in New York. Last game of the tiebreak.
It was fast for Karjakin.
I think it's the last game, right? Was this the last game?
The rapid game.
Well, the tiebreak was a rapid, yes. World Championship, and Carlsen did it. How? White to play and win.
I kind of remember something like the same.
Well, this you have to know the.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure what it is.
Okay, if you've seen it, that's fine. Let's let other players to find this beautiful combination.
I was here at the club when it happened.
Even Ben knows this. Ben Simon knows this probably. Wait, you were there?
Yeah, he was out there.
When this happened?
Yeah.
Oh. So you saw it with in live, huh?
I did. What was the time control? It was blitz?
Rapid. Okay, anybody else? I mean, Adi has been. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's give a chance to Dennis. Adi, you answered so much today. Let's give a chance to Dennis. Go.
Queen h6 check, and if king h6, then rook h8, and if gh, then
Well, what a way, huh? What a way to win your, not win, like defend your title, yeah?
yeah, okay.
Queen h6. Brilliant sacrifice.
And he was already.
Well, he was defending his title. If you lose this game, then
No, he won 2 games.
no. This was a critical game. No, because they wouldn't play unless they. This clinched it, this win. So, if he takes with a king, Dennis,
Rook h8.
look at that checkmate. So you lure the king. And to see this in tiebreak, I mean, it's pretty impressive, He even looked at this stuff. So now he takes with the pawn.
Rook f7.
And now the 7th rank is weakened. Look at that checkmate.
Yeah, there was a definite buzz when he hit that. People were like, what? And they were like, oh, it wins.
Yeah, people normally don't look for these ideas. I can tell you, a lot of people would have not seen this, including a lot of strong grandmasters. This is something you gotta be very sharp at that moment, because either you see this right away or you're not even gonna look for this. So it's this is something you gotta see it right away. Otherwise, you can spend a lot of time and you're not gonna see this, because you're not gonna be looking for something like this. But I think before he went for this, he already seen this, because otherwise, as you can see, there are some major problems here for white, if you don't do it, you're going to get mated here. So it's, I'm sorry? Yeah, there are a lot of mates here. So Carlsen found this move and defended the title against Karjakin 2 years ago in tiebreaks, okay? So he's a tiebreak specialist. The guy has never lost a tiebreak match.
Yeah.
Every time he tied in Bill, he tied. So he's a tiebreak winner basically.
I like the game
You know.
in the sink field where he pushed.
This is a game of another high-profile game played in 2016, played by a former world champion Vladimir Kramnik against women's world champion Yifan from China. And Kramnik is playing with the white pieces here, and white to play and win. Yes, you need to try to find a way to win this. This bishop is very annoying. It's pinning and causing trouble. Again, this is calculation. Some good calculation needed here. About 5 moves. At the end of the line, you end up being 2 pawns ahead and just winning. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's give a few more minutes to other students here. Let's see if they can find it. It's not easy. I know it's not easy to play like a world champion.
Chess is tough.
But the good thing is you already know that there is something. When they're playing these games, when we are playing these games live, you don't know where is the tactic. At least one thing you know here, that there is something here, something special.
That's why I said if I had
Teacher calls it.
Adi, go first move.
Knight takes b5.
Giving up your rook?
I'm gonna get it.
He's going to get it back. I think he's got the right answer. All right, let's see. Knight takes b5, bishop takes.
Knight b6. Knight takes c4.
Adi,
That's okay.
Adi, rushing. Look at that one. You missed that one, huh?
Yeah, that's my knight.
So, the first move, you got it.
Knight f7, knight d5.
Check. Check out to the king. He goes here. Checker. And now, and you take only one. And now we count the pawns. How many pawns white has?
More than one.
5. How many pawns black has? 3. And that is enough. That is enough to win the game. 2 pawn advantage, okay? Is the most you can get. But it is sufficient. Okay?
Can we go to the first move, please?
Sure.
Knight takes. If rook takes, knight.
There's a nice checkmate if you do that.
Okay.
So you take the rook,
Bishop a6.
bishop a6. And what kind of checkmate is this? This checkmate has a name. Who knows the name for this checkmate?
Bowden.
It's Bowden's, no? No, is it Bowden's?
I think it's Bowden.
What?
So it would be Bowden's.
Bowden's mate. Yes, Bowden's mate, okay? There is a queen sacrifice involved in original Bowden's mate position. But yeah, this one bishop cuts off the squares, another bishop checks. That's why 2 bishops are very strong together. So that leads to the Bowden's mate, okay? So that's why she took Yifan, probably the second strongest woman player ever in the history of the game, yeah?
after Judith.
After Judith. She was very, very close. She got up there, 2,600 close, but she never quite reached the 2,700. But she played. She did?
27, turn.
Okay, I'm not sure, but she played a lot of the. She got the invites to play with some of the top players. So here,
And then
check,
discover check.
check.
He was watching today.
Yeah. Okay, thanks to everybody for coming. See you next time. Yeah. Yeah.